Hi, this is Diana Buchanan. I'm one of the co-teachers of Pharmacotherapeutics, the second course in your series. I'm going to be orienting you today to the course website and some of the course content. This recording is meant to be a reference for you, and also it helps us save some time on the first day of class so that we can get right into content, because there's a lot of content to go over and these quarters go by really quickly. So this is the student view of the course website. You see you have a few navigation items on the left sidebar, and then we tried to set up the course web page to make it very easily visible as to what topics were coming up and when assignments were due. Paula Cox-North and myself, we are the co-teachers. You'll still find me in the system under Diana Taby. I'm going through changing my name in the UW system, so you'll see me that way. So either Taby or Buchanan. I answer to both. Let's see. So I'm going to start by looking at the syllabus. Let this open for a moment. There we go. So here's the web page with the syllabus. It should say Winter 2014. The date, time, and location. Our class is in 2 different rooms, unfortunately, but they're both in the T-wing, just upstairs and downstairs from each other. The long days are on Tuesdays, shorter days are on Wednesdays. The quizzes that we have will generally be on Tuesdays. There's one that's going to be on a Wednesday, but otherwise they're on Tuesdays. Our contact information is right below that, Paula's and mine. Best way to contact me is definitely email, or you can use the Canvas email. Our office hours, we're still going to be working that out. In general, our TAs are going to be the people who are the most available. You do use them as a resource. They're here to help you. If you have any confusion, you need coaching with course content, you have questions about course logistics, they're your go-to people. They will be able to get back to you quickly, or if they can't get back to you right away, they may need to ask us. They will get back to you. So they are our deputies and are extremely helpful and knowledgeable. General course information. This is a 3-credit course for nursing students, and read through the course objectives. I'm not going to go through those now, but gives you an idea of what our focus will be. You have 2 required texts. They are the same as last year. So you do, or last year meaning fall, 2013. So you don't need to buy anything new for this winter. You need a calculator, which you needed before. So again, you shouldn't need to buy that. Instructions and grading. So grading is going to be really, really similar to fall. There's going to be 7 quizzes. You will be graded on 6 of those. Your lowest will be dropped. As far as dropping a quiz, if you miss because you're sick, that is the quiz you drop. There is 1 extra assignment. This is not extra credit. This is 5% of your grade. So it's not that the other stuff is 100% and this is on top of that. 5% of your grade is an assignment, and it's really straightforward. If you put a good amount of thinking into it, just put some effort into it, you'll do fine. It's basically an exercise in getting you to think through the tracking of medication errors. How would you keep track of that? How would you address it? Kind of getting you to think about it from an institutional perspective. We'll look at that in just a few minutes. There is a comprehensive final exam. It's worth 35% of your grade. So the quizzes, you guys who had me for health assessment, you know that we had tests as we went along. We had 3 exams, or I guess in summer, if you had me, we had 2 exams. This class is structured a little differently. As you had in fall, we grade you more frequently, so you need to know the content, you need to be accountable more frequently, but you're accountable for smaller chunks of content at a time as we go along. So that's how the 6 quizzes add into 60% of your grade, and then at the final, we test you on all of the quarter. You do need to make at least a 65% to pass the course on the final exam. So the course grade has to be at least a 75%, so that's all the assignments together, but the final exam you have to make a 65%, and that's because it's cumulative. So if you don't make over 65%, we have no verification that you have mastered the course content. It would not be reasonable to pass a person who has not demonstrated mastery of the course content. So that's why that is a requirement. Let's see, the quizzes. This is pretty self-explanatory. Accommodations. We require written documentation because we don't have a lot of flexibility this quarter. Your classes are scheduled back to back. It's really hard to offer extra time, and it's hard for us to fit in all the content, so we just can't offer tons of leeway to everybody. But people with a documented need for accommodations, we will absolutely provide you what you need. You just have to provide documentation. That's all. So if folks come up to me and ask for extra time and you don't have documentation, just out of fairness to all the students, if I can't offer it to everybody, I can't offer it to an individual unless they have documentation of a need. I put a link here to all the UW course policy or the UW policies. Those are important to know. I think that students don't go back and look at those often enough. You're oriented to them at the beginning of the program, and then people never think to go back and look at this page again. And these are things that are really important for you to know as you go through this program. So go back, look at the UW SON policies page. That includes the plagiarism and student conduct policy, which are things that they apply to all the courses you're in, and they're standards that you are expected to meet in terms of ethical behavior. So read through this section. We expect everybody to help make it a good learning environment. Don't be disruptive to the class. Electronic devices, don't disrupt other people. If you're going to be browsing eBay, I don't like it, but you're an adult learner. If you want to be paying to be in class and browse eBay, that's your decision. But it's not going to serve you well. But don't disrupt other people. Turn your cell phones to not audible. Let's see. Academic honesty. Every year, every quarter, I encounter people who don't really understand what plagiarism is. Please review what plagiarism is. Even if it's not intentional, if you pull from other sources and you don't cite it, it's still plagiarism. It's not as egregious if it's unintentional, but it still violates the standard of using someone's stuff without crediting them. So brush up on what plagiarism is. All work is pretty much in all of the School of Nursing, all work is expected to be independent unless we tell you otherwise. If we say this is fine to do in a group, then you can do it in a group. But if we give you an assignment, it's going to be expected to be your own work. The 5% assignment in this class you can do in small groups. Otherwise, tests and quizzes, they are to be independent. Attendance, we strongly encourage you to attend all sessions. Attendance isn't mandatory in our class, but if you miss our class, you're missing quizzes, and you can't make those up. You just have to get one to drop, so you'll want to be in class. Anything extraordinary comes up, talk to your instructors right away and contact academic service. Ann Schaefer is the person to talk to if you have family situations, major illnesses, anything that is going to pose a disruption to your success in the program. Talk to us as soon as possible. We want you to be successful. So keep us in the loop and let us help you. Finals week. I always tell folks that you really need to plan to be around through the end of finals week, because sometimes our course will be done after the final exam is given. But you're in clinicals, you guys are all going to be in Nursing 407, and sometimes if you miss due to absences or if you're not meeting course objectives, you might end up having to do clinicals through the end of finals week. And if you've scheduled yourself a flight, you're going to have a problem. You have to cancel your flight or not meet the objectives of the class, which is really serious. So before you do any scheduling of any flights, regardless of when your last exam is, you need to talk to your instructors, and particularly those clinical instructors. Alright, we'll go back to, okay, the next thing is the course calendar. A lot of students have heard our spiel about staying organized. You have a lot to keep track of. We really encourage you to have one place where you can see it all. I encourage people to have a paper calendar where you track all your assignments. We have done a lot of the work for you. We're handing it to you. We have a calendar here that has all the topics and the due dates. So this has the quizzes and this 5% assignment here. Note that there are a couple of weeks with no quizzes. No quiz the first week, because that would just be mean. And this week here on the 21st and 22nd of January, there's no quiz because we have a guest speaker, Dr. Heitkemper, and we didn't really want to eat into her time. And the same on the 4th and the 5th of February. We didn't want to have too huge a quiz on the 18th, so we are having a quiz week 7 on February 12th. Note that that's the one quiz that's going to be on a Wednesday. That's the only quiz that we will be giving on Wednesday. The others will all be on Tuesdays. Alright, so back to the course website. Alright, so here we're up here under the course information topics module. I went over syllabus and calendar of topics. Announcements we use a lot. They will be fed into your email. It's a School of Nursing expectation that students check their email on a regular basis. And so these announcements, they'll go out from Canvas and go into your email. And I try to be mindful about not spamming you guys with announcements. They're things that I kind of save up the news and then send out stuff that's particularly important if it can't wait till the next class. TA's Corner is your place to pose questions to the TAs. It's an open discussion board, and that's really helpful to your classmates, because usually if one person has a question, other people have the question as well. So this is a nice place to organize and keep all those questions, and the TAs will be checking it and getting back to you. Here is the 5% assignment. It says it's locked because I didn't open it until January 1st. I will go into a different view to show that to you in just a few minutes. So I numbered the weeks by the course, by the University of Washington course weeks. So week 1 we don't have a class because week 1 starts on a Thursday, and we don't meet until Tuesday. So no class on week 1. Week 2 we're jumping right into diabetes. So you'll see the week number, the class dates, and then the topic listed for every week as you go through the quarter. Click into this link for each week, and you'll see the readings. You'll see who's going to be the lecturer that week. So if you have questions about the content or testing or whatever, the lecturer for that week is will be the most knowledgeable person. So either the TA or either Paula or me, whoever is responsible for that week. We've got the readings posted. The PowerPoints, there are a lot of things that are just placeholders right now. We're updating the course materials. We're going to be adding the hyperlinks as we go along, but they are not pretty much through the entire course. They're all placeholders. They're not active right now, and we'll be updating those a week or two before each lecture. Key concepts will be listed for each lesson. You've had these in fall. These are basically your study guide. They're the things that are the most important things to know. So you got a lot of readings. There's just a lot of chapters to cover in this course. These help you focus. So we're not going to give study guides in addition to the key concepts. The key concepts are your study guide. So back to the schedule. We only have a couple of guest speakers this time. So you see we're going to go into diabetes, metabolism, GI. So the 21st will be one of our guest speakers. That's Dr. Heitkemper, who you all know from fall. Then we'll do pain, and then cardiovascular. We're going to have Carol Jacobson, who is fantastic. You know, we're very selective about guest speakers for this particular course because, you know, I personally like consistency and it tends to make a course go smoother. So if we have a guest speaker, there's someone who really, really knows their stuff much better than we could convey. And Dr. Heitkemper and Dr. Jacobson are just great on their topics. So you'll really benefit from hearing from them. Then you can read through the rest of the topics as we go forward. The rest of the lectures will be Paula and me. And note that this quiz on Wednesday, I have it super obvious which one is on Wednesday, so you guys don't forget. These little links that say topics on quiz 5, topic on quiz 6, those are blank right now. You click into them, they are not populated. Again, they're placeholders. We will be plugging in the information as we go along. So yeah, we know they're blank. They won't be forever. Same with the final. We'll be giving you some tips on that, but we don't have them for you yet. So I'm going to scroll back up. The course calendar. So I have a calendar here that is a Word calendar that's got all the topics on it and all the due dates on it. I also added them to, I didn't add the topics to the Canvas calendar. I just put the due dates. So you'll see there's quiz 1, quiz 2, go into February. We've got quiz 3, 4, 5, and the 5% assignment here. And then a couple of quizzes in March. And I still need to find the date of the final. I'm not sure what our assigned time is for the final based on the UW time schedule. So let's see, there's one other thing that I wanted to do, which is show you that 5% assignment. Let me go back to the instructor view so I can show that to you. Here we go, leave student view. There we go, back into my view. Alright, 5% assignment, that's what I want. Open that. Okay. So this is due by midnight on February 14th. I know that's Valentine's Day. If you don't want to be working on Valentine's Day, it's up to you to budget your time and get it done sooner. And then here's the scenario that you're the nurse manager and your job is to investigate the medication errors and to do something about it, to track it and figure out how to intervene with the system, with the nurses, to address this problem. You can work up here. It says, oops, I didn't, oh yeah, I did add that. You can work alone or in groups of up to 3 persons. If you work with 3 persons, I want to know that everyone contributed. So, and I will actually put that on here, that I want to know what was everyone's contribution to that, so that it's clear that everybody had a substantive contribution to the assignment. And then turn it in an outline form. You don't have to write up paragraphs. It's not a term paper. So a page or 2 to outline what you would do. Probably, you know, it would be at least a full page, I would think, to give you about a gauge. Probably 2 pages, if you're doing it in outline format, would be about what I would think would be a reasonable amount to turn in. just be sure that you've done enough to show that you've put good thought into the questions we're asking. We're looking for analysis. We're looking for critical thinking. All right, so back home. And then finally, you guys have a link. Let me go back into student view and I will show you where your grades live. You should be used to Canvas by now. You've got this link for grades, and then they're all listed here. This is listed by points. The 5% assignment is assigned, 5 points. The final exam is 35 points. It won't be 35 questions. It'll be more than 35 questions, but we'll have to do the math to normalize that to 35% of your grade. There are 7 quizzes listed here. One will be dropped, but we don't finalize that till the end of the quarter. So it's this grades link where your grades live. And let's see if there's anything else. I think that's everything important to tell you, and if there's anything else we can think of, we will be telling you when we see you in class. So if we hear from you before the quarter starts, if I start getting questions, I will probably post my answers, the question and answers under discussions, so that they're there for the benefit of everybody. All right, you know where to find us, and we look forward to having another quarter with all of you.